Sup peoples, and welcome to a very special video. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for helping Ash to hit 100 subs. And if you're new here, well, if they're new, they're going to be very confused. But that doesn't mean they can't stick around. Stick around, new peoples, and welcome to the channel. Ahem, I wasn't done talking. But yes, pretty much what they both said. To celebrate hitting 100 subscribers, Ash decided to do a super special Q&A, where we answer your questions about her. Which doesn't make very much sense, seeing as we don't know her and are not her, so how would we know how to answer these questions? Shush, we'll figure it out. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to turn it into a sort of pop quiz. Oh no. Why? Hurrah! These questions are going to be a combination of writing-based and personal, so let's get started. Question 1. Since comic books are kind of a niche, would you rather have your story adapted to the big or not screen, or would you stick to comics forever? Ooh, I know this one! Go ahead, Romance. While Ash does love comics and it's one of her favorite mediums ever, she also dreams of one day having her stories turned into TV shows. And in these dreams, she gets to be a part of the production process, helping with casting, writing, and directing. Ash loves film, and if she could do anything besides writing, it would be directing. She dreams of eventually, or maybe acting. But anyway, she dreams of one day being the showrunner on a show, probably based on a comic that she wrote. So yes, she would love to bring her stories to life on the big or tiny screen. Correct, I think. Yes, it's correct. How can you know if that was correct or not? We've never even met this Ash person. I can just tell. Question 2. Do you want to make writing a living or just a hobby? I know this one too. Give someone else a chance, Romance. Why don't you let horror do this one? Ash's dream is to make writing her livelihood. Be a well-known author with her stories spread across all kinds of mediums. From comics to graphic novels to television. Not really movies though, she sort of likes episodic stuff. Of course, the likelihood of any of that happening is probably pretty slim. She should just give up now. Come on, horror. Just because we hit a snag in our writing doesn't mean she can't finish hers. And anyway, like sci-fi would say, success is a long road, one that you must be patient about walking. Yes, that's right. I said walking, not running. Just because you don't have success now doesn't mean you couldn't achieve it in the future. You're learning well. How about you answer this one, plotter? You deserve a turn too. Question 3. Hi. Well, hello to you too. Have you ever had a book published, and where can I read your material? This one's easy. No. Ash has never had anything published. Not yet anyway, but she's currently in the process of trying to get her comic, codenamed Project Punk, published. So she's about halfway there. I'll link the playlist all about it up above on whichever side those things show up on. Now sci-fi, it's your turn. Question 4. What is your favorite book of all time? I love Dune. Such a classic. And the new movies have promise as well. Not your favorite book, sci-fi, Ash's favorite book. Oh, in that case it would be Saga. I love this book. Where did you have that? You don't have pockets near big enough. What are you talking about? Pocket dimensions can fit anything. But anyway, Saga is an amazing science fiction and sort of fantasy story. Centers on husband and wife Elena and Marco, who both hail from long-warring extraterrestrial races. In the comic, they're struggling to escape both sides of this conflict as they care for their daughter Hazel. It's a great book. It really is a good one. And ties into our next question perfectly. Question 5. What inspired you to start writing? Rom-coms. I needed a way to share my evilest nightmares with the world, so I wouldn't forget all the amazing worlds I've seen over the years. No. This book! Ash read this book when she was 16. You can tell by the broken binding that she's had it for a little while. It's been well loved, let's put it that way. But in the back of it was a bonus section, all about how the creative team who made it. It taught her not only how to make comics, but also made her feel like she could. There was a section in which writer Brian Cavon talked about his own struggles at a certain stage in the comic book writing process, and he made it funny and relatable, and she felt suddenly like maybe she could do it too. Maybe comic book writers are also just people. Well, duh, 'cause they are. Shush, horror. Don't interrupt my heartwarming story. Anyway, This made writing like that feel possible, and she finally got back into something that she'd always wanted to do, ever since she was little. Ash has been writing little stories since forever. Even before she could write, she would tell the stories to her grandmother, who would write them down for her. So this was just the inspiration that she needed to try and do it professionally. So with the help of Saga Book 1, Ash embarked on a grand writing journey. Hooray! Can I ask the next question? Great, thank you. Too happy, too happy, too happy. Ooh, here we go. Question 6. Do you think reading is overall dying? I honestly don't know if I'm equipped or qualified to answer that question. In every world and every time I've ever visited, creativity has always existed. I think that so long as there are good stories out there, there will be people to appreciate them. Do more people watch television than read? Probably. Do more people listen to ebooks than read paperbacks? Maybe. Should that stop you from writing? Definitely not. Even if you're only writing for yourself, so long as writing is something that you love, you should keep doing it. Even if people do stop reading novels and comic books, new mediums will just rise up to take their place. Alright then, I'll just agree with her. How about we move on? Question 7. How do you think people should deal with agent rejections? And don't let Sci-Fi answer this one because I've already listened to too many monologues today. Don't give up. I've never reached out to an agent before, so I don't know what that entails. But I will still say, do not give up. Ash is currently in the process of reaching out to artists about illustrating her comic book, and so far, she hasn't gotten a single 100% yes. She hasn't even gotten a single yes yet at all, except for that one person who reached out to her, but that's a different sort of situation. But did she give up? No. Does she intend to keep reaching out to artists? Yes. Whatever not giving up means for you, do that. That could mean reaching out to different agents, reading through your book again and making some different edits or revisions, or maybe even putting one project on the back burner and starting up another. It depends on the situation, but whatever you decide, don't let it stop you from writing and moving forward. Work towards your goals. Romance? That was almost as bad as if Sci-Fi had done it herself. Sorry. How about we answer one more question then wrap up? That way you don't have to listen to any more monologues. No, we're going to answer them all. Question 8. How can I write good fantasy? Plotter? Fantasy isn't part of the club though. I realize that. Romance. Alright, so I know Ash said that we would answer whatever questions you have, but this is such a big question, I think it deserves its own video. I'll link some videos up above about writing characters because you could apply them to fantasy settings or any setting really. And I personally feel like a good character is the heart of any good story. But to truly answer your question, I think we'd need a little bit more guidance. Comment down below what sort of elements you are specifically interested in us talking about. Like maybe you want to know about world building. Maybe the character videos are exactly what you wanted. Or maybe you were more worried about plot and pacing. Whatever the case, let us know in the comments and I would be happy to do my best to make a video specifically answering that question. So long as I feel like I actually know how to answer that question because good can be sort of subjective. So next up is question 9. Do you think that the number of readers are directly proportional to the number of writers? Oh dear, I don't know if I can answer that one either. I searched the internet for an answer, but unfortunately couldn't find anything. And as this is a numbers question, I don't feel right guessing. Logically, I'm not sure. Emotionally, I wouldn't let any sort of numbers game stop you from writing if that's what you so desire. Luckily, a lot of times writers are also readers, so there's a good chance that your potential competition could also become your potential audience. Well, thank you, Sci-Fi. To wrap it up, why don't we all answer question 10. What other things do you love apart from writing and reading? And don't answer these yourselves. Say what Ash would answer with. Animals. Cute, fluffy, adorable critters like bats and spiders. Well, okay, fine. Maybe I like bats and spiders more than Ash does. She's actually terrified of spiders. Neutral on bats though. But she does love cuddly critters and spends a lot of time with her dog and rabbits. She even considered being a vet if she wasn't going to be a writer, but ended up deciding that she'd rather keep hanging out with fluffy friends as a hobby and not a livelihood. Clothes. And I'm saying that is Ash, not me. Although I love it too. We both enjoy going shopping for clothes, putting together outfits, and spend way too much time picking out outfits when it's time to leave the house, making everyone be late for things. But it's just way too much fun not to do that, right? Food. She loves food and would like to become more confident in the kitchen. Ash wants to travel to all the different worlds and galaxies, try the cuisines, and learn to make them at home. I would probably have to mention role-playing games. She loves Dungeons & Dragons. Absolutely adores it. She's currently playing a changeling witch named Lizzie, who is trying to bring her wife back from the grave and avenge her murder. It's all very dramatic. Ash is one of those players that gives her characters not one, but like several tragic backstories. It's honestly a lot of fun. Lizzie's voice sounds a little bit like mine because she's quite judgmental and she makes a lot of snarky comments and is very unhappy with exactly how you're handling the situation and just wants you to know exactly how disappointed in you she really is. Although she does love her party, she truly does. Yeah, it's the best. Like Lizzie, because of this sort of tether to her undead wife's spirit, has this strange connection with death itself. Her GM is cool that way. It's awesome. And tragic love stories are just so heartbreaking that you can't not fit them in whenever you can, right? Well, thank you for watching, and thank you for helping Ash to reach 100 subscribers. We hope that you all enjoyed this video. Ash is going to hold another special video when she hits 500 subscribers, so definitely stay tuned for that. Maybe we'll even get to be in it. And tell your friends and family about her channel. Every subscriber counts, and every like is appreciated. Oh! And every comment is replied to. So definitely let us know any further questions that you might have down in the comments, and we'll be happy to reply to them. Who knows? Maybe it'll even be us replying and not Ash. Horror, would you like to answer the comments? I mean, I guess I could. Better than Plotter doing it. She'd leave the most boring replies. Hey, I would not. I would leave the most fascinating and wonderful replies that ever existed. You should definitely comment. Now to get back into character for Plotter, you just have to remember that there's a little bit of snarky judgment in her voice because she seems like she's always judging you because she is. I'm judging myself. That's deep. Judgment, 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 judgment. I'm trying to get back into the voice because it's difficult to be this sassy. Bye-bye.
I'm leaving. I don't need part of that.
Bye-bye. Bye! Maybe I'll put some bloopers at the end. Aren't you so fluffy?
Oh no, don't jump it down.
The littlest fluff ball. Anyway, I need to keep filming because this is all taking up space on my phone. That was not the fake sneeze I had Sci-Fi do. That was the real one that was hiding inside the whole time.